What is up, everybody? Bobby here, the Geek Guru. Geek, definitely guru, I don't know. But Saturday was truly epic all across the board. I had tickets to go to the Atlantic City Comic Con, the first ever show. It was called Atlantic City Boardwalk Con. It was the first one they did there. I had tickets to see Kevin Smith. You guys saw all that in the last video. I really truly thought that was going to be the pinnacle of the day. Let me back this up a little bit and give a little backstory to all this before I continue on. About 7 months ago, I sent a tweet out to Image and Form, the creators of SteamWorld Dig. I had been playing that. I was sitting in my car in a parking lot someplace waiting for something to open up, and I was playing SteamWorld Dig, and I was like, man, you know, this game is so awesome. I'm gonna send a tweet out to these guys and just thank them for the awesome game. Never in my wildest dreams even thinking that they would reply to it. I figured, they'll just say it and maybe favorite it and be done with it. And so they did favorite it, they retweeted it, they responded. I sent another message back, again, never thinking anything to come out of it. And out of that, we started going back and forth talking. I didn't know who was behind the tweets or anything like that, but I just real quickly drew a bond to this person that I was talking to, and consistently back and forth talking. Turned out to be Julius from Image and Form. He then gave me his personal Twitter account. I started following him on there, and we continued to speak back and forth. I then at that point in my assumptions assumed that that was all that really paid attention to anything that I was doing at Image and Form. Turned out I was wrong when, if you guys watched the video back, Brjann from Image and Form, who was actually the CEO, had some kind words for me, about my tweets and stuff, which then I come to the realization hey, these guys, you know, they're pretty cool. These guys are really awesome that they took a second to acknowledge me. I appreciated that wholeheartedly. Really awesome. You know, so then the next week I asked a question and I discussed Amiibo, and when it turns out that, you know, I contacted Julius. I was like, is there anybody in need of a Gold Mario Amiibo? I know that Europe didn't get them. In all of that back and forth trying to do all that stuff for TOBY a couple weeks ago that I showed you guys, I actually secured a second Gold Mario Amiibo. At first I was going to do a giveaway, something like that. I didn't really know what I was going to do with it. I had decided at that point, hey, you know what? I want to thank someone from Image and Form. I'm going to find out who's into Amiibo. I asked Julius. Julius said, hey, I'm into Amiibo. I said, I'd like to send you a Gold Mario Amiibo. Long story short, end of discussion. He realized that I was from New Jersey, and then said, hey, listen, Brjann is in New Jersey right now. You should really go check him out. He was at a Steampunk World Fair, and it was in North Jersey, about an hour and 40 minutes away, and I was like, wow, that's crazy, that he's up there, and he's like, you should really go. He would love to see you. You know, he'd love to meet you. Go. Julius then gave me Brjann's cell phone number, and I was like, wow. You know, I don't know that I should be calling the CEO of a company, you know, that seems kind of bold on my behalf to do. But anyway, regardless, I was like, you know what, he's going to be there for a couple days. They're showing off Heist, they're showing off Dig. I might go check it out, you know. Who am I kidding? I was like, I gotta go check it out. So I'm getting ready to leave the convention center, and I call Brjann, and he doesn't answer. And I'm like, man, now do I go or do I not? And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go, give it a shot, see what happens. And about 10 minutes later, my phone started ringing, and it was Brjann, CEO, Image and Form, calling me. And I was like, holy cow, this is okay. So I answered the phone, and it's Bryan? And he says, hey, this is Bryan from Image and Form. And I said, Bryan, this is Bobby, the Geek Guru. And he's like, oh man, what's up? How are you? And this and that. I said, I'm good, I'm good. I said, listen, I heard you guys are in New Jersey. I want to come up, but I didn't want to come up if you weren't going to be there. And he's like, we're here all day. If you want to come up, please. If you can make time, please come up, check us out. He goes, I'd really like you to come up. I said, okay, I'm on my way. So, hour and 40 minutes later, I arrive. Huge steampunk convention, con going on, but it's kind of different. It's kind of like a community, and they're all dressed up, and I'm the only idiot wearing a Batman shirt and a Batman hat. So, I go in, I get my passes, and I start walking around trying to find him because there's no way to tell me where he is. Like, it was kind of different than a typical con. Go in, and it's in a room, and there it is. And I slip in the back, and I'm looking around. I'm like, I don't see Bryan. I'm like, okay, maybe do I call? What do I do? So I just stand in the back and kind of wait a couple minutes. The next thing I know, Bryan comes walking in, and I'm like, oh, wow. Now I'm kind of like starstruck. Do I say something to him? Do I not? I'm like, well, I drove all the way up there. I'm like, stupid not to say something. Okay, just say something. So he's talking to a couple people. When he gets done, I'm like, hey, tap him on the shoulder. He turns around and said, Bryan, it's Bobby from Geek Guru. He's like, oh, man, what's up? And we hug, and we start just talking, and we click immediately. And he pulls me over and takes me over to Heist and sits me down. I gotta tell you, I'm a huge fan, as a lot of people know, of SteamWorld Dig. Like, I really, truly love that game. That game hit me on a level that I haven't felt since I was a kid playing Metroid on the Super Nintendo, not the Nintendo. I love the one on the Nintendo, but the Super Nintendo one, something about it triggered within, just wholeheartedly took control of me, and I fell in love with that game. This game did the same thing, and I praised about it. I've told a lot of people, my buddy Lugo, Chris, there's a shout out you've been screaming for weeks. There it is. I told him about it, and he actually bought it. And funny story is, on my way back from North Jersey, he texted me like, dude, I'm playing this SteamWorld Dig, and I'm addicted. I can't stop playing. And I'm like, well, check it out. You're not gonna believe where I just was. And so I sit down with Bryan, and I start playing Heist, and he goes over a little bit with me, and hands me the controller, and I'm like, okay. I kind of got it pretty quickly. I understood what we were doing pretty quickly. The game, I want to say, is similar to, if you're expecting to be another SteamWorld Dig, it's not. It's nothing like a SteamWorld Dig. It's more along the lines of like a Fire Emblem, a Codename Steam. Difference is 2D, side-scrolling, you're moving around side to side. A little bit more action tone than those ones, definitely than Fire Emblem, but even more so than Codename Steam. Like Codename Steam, you kind of pick where you're going to go, and then you wait, and then you can shoot and such. This one is kind of the same thing. Like, you want to save shots. Like, you want to, basically what you're going to do is, it's going to show you yellow and blue where you can move in the ship that you're in. The gold, if you go to a gold spot and you stop, that allows you still can take a shot at an enemy. You go to a blue area, you can't. So more or less what happens is you're going to move around the ship, and if there's enemies in the particular area, you're going to want to hold off, you're going to want to hide or do something, make sure you can take a shot with a gold. If you pull up, the cool thing about it is, if you pull up to a barrel, you automatically duck behind the barrel, so it's not a matter of like, oh man, like I walk up to the barrel and I'm exposed. Now I gotta tell, no, you walk up, you'll stand there until you're done, and then your character will drop down below the barrel and hide. The cool thing about the lead character, Piper, I didn't know this, I didn't realize this, but Piper is a female, which just kind of is cool in its own right. when you look at the character, I don't think it screams this is a female character. And me and Brjann even discussed that for a moment. I said, yeah, but you know what, man? The first time you play Metroid, you know, you're thinking Samus is a guy. You don't realize till the end that Samus is a girl. So it's the same philosophy per se, you know, once you find out, like, it's cool that they took the time to make a strong female character lead this crew of robots, you know, that are basically, you're trying to scour the ship and find different items. Are you into collecting? Good, because that's what this is. You know, if you shoot someone's hat off, you can go pick up that hat and collect it. Like, the object too is as well to collect hats, which kind of pulls a lot of stuff together now when I'm starting to see things like when they had us do the hat contest last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever. You see now, like, hey, this is why we did the hat contest, because, you know, there's different hats. So that's pretty awesome. I played through the demo completely. I think it was about a 15-20 minute demo. It's about a 2-month-old build that he actually, Brjann actually took this to PAX months ago and showed it off at PAX East. I am in love with this game automatically. Graphics, phenomenal. You guys, again, knocked it out of the park. It takes what looked so beautiful in Dig and amplifies it even more. The colors, the depth, everything is just awesome. It's not like a flat picture the whole time you're playing. There's depth. You can see the depth within. So it's gorgeous. There's certain things I can't talk about, so people know it is coming to all platforms. 3DS, Wii U. It will not hit the PlayStation 3. It will not hit the 360, but it will hit PlayStation 4. It will hit Xbox One. It will hit Steam, all that stuff, which is great news. You know, this thing is going to be able to sell a ton because it's going to be all over the place, and it deserves to sell a ton. Like, just wow. There's some things that, like, the cool thing about Brjann was the ability to talk to him on a real level, you know, and just basically say, like, hey, these are some things that I think you should do with the game. And he was just like, like, the one thing in particular we discussed was multiplayer, because I was like, man, you know, could you admit this is like a chessboard? You could do so many different things with this. And he's like, man, you don't know how bad I want to do this. You know what I mean? Like, I really would love to have a multiplayer, but the problem with multiplayer with an indie team and all that is, like, the resources, and that they are limited and stuff, and they don't have the ability like a Nintendo or a Sony to just go, we're going to throw everything at the wall and it's all going to come out, you know, which I respect, you know. Their focus isn't on additional content and all this stuff like a multiplayer or co-op and all that. Their focus is on making the best possible experience for us, that we enjoy the game, and I assure you they are knocking it out of the park. It comes out in fall, so if you get a chance to play it at a trade show or something like that, make plans to try. You're gonna love the game. Go check them out, Image and Form. They have a blog. Just Google search Image and Form. You'll find their Twitter, their Instagram, all that stuff. You'll find their blog. Go in and check it out. You owe it to yourself. Go to YouTube. They have a channel. You know, check out gameplay footage and all that stuff. You know, you've been seeing some gameplay footage and all that on here and some different things while I'm talking, but I assure you, playing the game and seeing the game are two different things. You know, I played it for about 15-20 minutes and I was like, I got it. I was in. And I even said to Brjann when I got done, I was like, oh my God. I'm like, this is now like Splatoon. You know, I did that 1 hour test fire that Nintendo offered, and now I want more. Like, I'm craving more, and that's how I feel about SteamWorld Heist. Like, I actually woke up this morning and I was like, I might drive back up to North Jersey today because I want to play this game again. Like, I woke up craving this game again and just wanting to play, like, not stop playing. So if you're into them type of games, even if you're not into those type of games, you owe it to yourself to just try it. And I promise you, you give this game 10 minutes, and you will get it, you will understand it, and you will be hooked. There's no other feeling like that. That's what you're going for when you go to play a game. You want to get sucked in and you want to just consume it. You know, the one thing that Brjann explained to me was when they finished Dig, they were going to start on 2 games and run them. They realized that their team was big enough that they could do 2 small games, run them parallel together, and release them at the same time. But he said all of a sudden it hit them, it hit the team and him and everybody, like, you know, they owe it to everybody to go bigger. You know, you just gave a great game with Dig. We need to go bigger than Dig. And Dig is, you know, my first playthrough I played for 9 hours. My second playthrough I got 5 hours. You know, I still get a couple hours every time I play, you know. Every time I play the game I get a couple hours in, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours before I can beat the game. So, you know, in that respect, when you look at it, it's like, what do you know, for them to say like, hey, that game, we're gonna go 3 times the size of that game. You know, I think it's about a 15-hour game, give or take, depending on what you do and what you're going after and all that stuff. My whole plan, I'm gonna buy it on whatever's available. You know, I want to thank Brjann for the hospitality that he showed me. It was really, really kind of you, man, to go out of your way and to take the time to make sure that, like, you know, I was okay, and I was, you know, I appreciate that, man. It means the world to me. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Remember to click the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. Share this video with all your friends, please. Like the video. Leave a comment below, you know, of the footage that I showed and all that stuff. What did you guys think about SteamWorld Heist? Are you excited for it? Do you want to check out more? Are you more susceptible now to go search them out and look at them? I hope so. Please do. I'd appreciate it. I know they'd appreciate it. That is all. Peace, mother